Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Carole Bouquet is a French actress and fashion model whose beauty, elegance, and versatility have made her one of the most recognizable figures in European cinema. Born on August 18, 1957, in Neuilly-sur-Seine, France, she came of age during a dynamic period in French film, stepping into the spotlight with a combination of natural sophistication and commanding screen presence. Bouquet began her acting career in the late 1970s, earning international attention early on with her role in Luis Buñuel's final film, That Obscure Object of Desire, 1977, where she shared the unusual dual role of Conchita with fellow actress Ángela Molina. The film, surreal and provocative, announced her as a daring and intriguing newcomer. Her career soon expanded beyond French cinema, and she achieved worldwide fame when she starred as the Bond girl Melina Havelock in For Your Eyes Only, 1981, opposite Roger Moore. Unlike many Bond heroines of the era, Bouquet's character was portrayed as intelligent, capable, and driven by her own vendetta, which helped cement her as one of the more memorable women of the series. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Bouquet continued to build a distinguished filmography, alternating between commercial and art house films. She worked with respected directors such as Bertrand Blier, Claude Berry, and André Téchiné. Notably, she won the César Award for Best Actress in 1990 for her moving performance in Too Beautiful for You, Trop Belle pour Toi, a film that highlighted her depth and vulnerability as an actress. Far beyond the glamorous roles for which she was often typecast, beyond film, Bouquet has had a lasting presence in the fashion world. She was a longtime muse and ambassador for Chanel No. 5, embodying the refined image of the brand throughout the 1980s and 1990s, further solidifying her status as a symbol of French elegance. Her personal life has also drawn public interest. Bouquet was in a relationship with actor Gérard Depardieu for nearly a decade, a pairing that attracted significant media attention in France. She is also the mother of filmmaker Dimitri Rassam, whose father was producer Jean-Pierre Rassam. Even into the 21st century, Carole Bouquet has remained active in both film and theater. She has taken on roles in television dramas, independent films, and stage productions, demonstrating her commitment to her craft and her ability to reinvent herself as an actress. Carole Bouquet stands as a figure of timeless allure, both a cinematic icon and a representative of French sophistication. With a career spanning over 4 decades, she has successfully bridged the worlds of art house cinema, Hollywood glamour, and haute couture, ensuring her place in film and fashion history. Early life and education. Bouquet grew up in a cultured environment near Paris. She originally pursued philosophy at the Sorbonne before shifting her focus to acting, enrolling in the Conservatoire National Supérieur d'Art Dramatique. This intellectual grounding has often been noted in her performances, which carry a sense of depth and thoughtfulness even in her most glamorous roles. Rise to international recognition. Her debut in That Obscure Object of Desire, 1977, could hardly have been more auspicious. Luis Buñuel, one of cinema's greatest surrealist directors, personally chose her. Sharing a role with another actress was an unusual artistic experiment, and Bouquet's ability to project aloofness and sensuality made a lasting impression. Just a few years later, her appearance in For Your Eyes Only, 1981, introduced her to a global audience. Melina Havelock was not merely a decorative figure, she was strong-willed, vengeful, and capable, a break from the traditional damsel in distress archetype. This made Bouquet stand out among Bond actresses and contributed to her enduring international popularity. Versatility in French and European cinema. In the 1980s and 1990s, Bouquet sought roles that demonstrated her range. She starred in Bertrand Blier's Too Beautiful for You, 1989, opposite Gérard Depardieu, which explored the complexities of love, desire, and fidelity. Her performance earned her the César Award for Best Actress in 1990. This was a milestone that shifted her reputation from Bond girl to serious, award-winning actress. Other notable works include Rive Droit, Rive Gauche, 1984, with Depardieu and Nathalie Baye. Grosse Fatigue, 1994, a satirical comedy directed by Michel Blanc. Un pont entre deux rives, 1999, co-directed by Depardieu. Wasabi, 2001, with Jean Reno, where she blended elegance with dry humor. Her body of work illustrates a willingness to move between genres, romantic dramas, comedies, thrillers, and experimental films. Fashion and public image. Beyond cinema, Bouquet became a face of high fashion. Her collaboration with Chanel No. 5 made her an international symbol of chic femininity. For over a decade, her image embodied French elegance in the world of luxury advertising, cementing her status as not just an actress but a cultural icon. Personal life. Carole Bouquet's personal life has been closely followed in France. She was married to producer Jean-Pierre Rassam, with whom she had a son. Dimitri Rassam, later a successful film producer and husband of Princess Charlotte Casiraghi of Monaco. After Rassam's early death, Bouquet raised Dimitri largely on her own. In the 1990s, she entered into a long and highly publicized relationship with Gérard Depardieu, one of France's most famous actors. The couple collaborated professionally and remained together for nearly a decade. Later, she was married to Jacques Leibowitz, a doctor known for his pioneering work in HIV treatment. Later career and recent work in the 2000s and 2010s. Bouquet remained active across different mediums. She performed in theater productions, television dramas, and international films. Some of her later works include Wasabi, 2001, a French action comedy with Jean Reno. The Malady of Death, La Maladie de la Mort, on stage, showcasing her dramatic intensity. En mai, Fais ce qu'il te plaît, 2015. A war drama by Christian Carrion. Granboli, 2021, part of her continuing film work. Bouquet also pursued interests outside of acting. She owns a vineyard on the Italian island of Pantelleria. Producing wine and embracing a quieter, more personal passion project away from the spotlight. Legacy. Carole Bouquet's legacy lies in her ability to embody contradiction. She is glamorous yet cerebral, a Bond girl who won the César, a model of French elegance who often sought out roles that defied superficial beauty. She represents the modern French actress who moves fluidly between art cinema and popular film, between global fame and private retreat. Carole Bouquet, an in-depth portrait. Early background and first steps in cinema. Carole Bouquet's path to the screen was not a conventional model-turned-actress story. Though her beauty certainly played a role in her rise. She originally had intellectual ambitions, studying philosophy and literature before turning to acting. Her unusual, aristocratic beauty, often described as icy or sculptural, made her stand out from her peers, and Luis Buñuel's choice to cast her in That Obscure Object of Desire, 1977, was a stroke of destiny. Playing Conchita, a young woman both alluring and inaccessible, set the tone for many of Bouquet's later roles, enigmatic women who carried mystery and intelligence. International stardom. The Bond girl. Her big leap into international fame came with For Your Eyes Only, 1981. At just 23, she became a Bond girl, but unlike many predecessors, she resisted the ornament stereotype. Melina Havelock was written with unusual strength and determination, and Bouquet played her with a quiet intensity that impressed audiences. Her natural elegance, cool demeanor, and strong on-screen presence made her a perfect fit for the glamorous yet dangerous world of James Bond. This role established her global visibility, opening doors in international cinema. Though Bouquet was careful not to let Hollywood typecast her, building a career in French cinema, Bouquet's ambition was always to be taken seriously as an actress. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, she chose roles that allowed her to develop range. Highlights include Rive Droite, Rive Gauche, 1984, a sharp political drama alongside Nathalie Baye and Gérard Depardieu. Double Messieurs, 1986, a dark comedy by Jean-François Stévenin. New York Stories, 1989, she appeared in the segment Life Without Zoe, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Too Beautiful for You, 1989, a career-defining performance, where she played the other woman in a love triangle with Gérard Depardieu and Josiane Balasco. The film won the Cannes Jury Prize, and Bouquet received the César for Best Actress. Her César win was significant. It marked her as a major French actress, not merely an international beauty. Her screen persona, Bouquet's acting style, is often described as minimalist and understated. She rarely overplays emotion, instead conveying inner life through subtlety and presence. This gave her an aura of mystery. Directors often cast her as intelligent, sometimes untouchable women, whose beauty was matched by self-possession. She has been compared to Catherine Deneuve in her ability to combine allure with coolness, though Bouquet herself cultivated a slightly more modern, independent image. Fashion, beauty, and Chanel. Parallel to her acting, Bouquet became a fashion icon. From the mid-1980s to the 1990s, she was the face of Chanel No. 5. Appearing in a series of sophisticated advertisements that helped solidify her image worldwide. These campaigns elevated her to the status of an international style symbol. Her fashion legacy is significant. She was among the rare actresses who moved seamlessly between cinema and high fashion, influencing public perception of French femininity as chic, intellectual, and mysterious. Personal life and relationships. Carole Bouquet's personal story is as dramatic as some of her films. Jean-Pierre Rassam, 1941–1985. Bouquet's first major partner was the Lebanese-French film producer. They had a son, Dimitri Rassam, who became a successful producer himself and married into Monaco's royal family. Tragically, Rassam died young, leaving Bouquet to raise their son. Gérard Depardieu, 1990–1996, her relationship with Depardieu was one of the most publicized romances in France. They were seen as a power couple of French cinema, working together in several films. Their eventual split was widely covered in the media. Jacques Leibowitz. Later, she married the French physician and AIDS researcher, showing her respect for intellectual and humanitarian work beyond the arts. Today, Bouquet lives a more private life, often spending time on the island of Pantelleria, where she owns a vineyard and produces wine. Later career, 2000s present, Bouquet has continued to work across cinema, television, and theater into the 21st century. She has chosen projects that reflect maturity and nuance, often playing complex women facing challenges in middle age. Wasabi, 2001, action comedy with Jean Reno. A commercial success. Un pont entre deux rives, 1999, a film co-directed by Depardieu. Lucy Aubrac, 1997, a historical drama where she played the real-life resistance heroine. En Mai. Fais ce qu'il te plaît, 2015, a World War II drama. The Malady of Death, La Maladie de la Mort, stage performance that showcased her dramatic weight. En Thérapie, 2021, French TV adaptation of In Treatment, where she portrayed a patient, bringing depth and sensitivity to the role. Her ability to reinvent herself has kept her relevant, even as French cinema has changed dramatically. Cultural legacy. Carole Bouquet's importance lies not only in her roles but also in her embodiment of French sophistication. She represents elegance and intelligence combined. The transition from Bond girl to respected award-winning actress. A woman who balanced fashion icon status with serious artistry. An influence on later generations of French actresses who admire her refusal to be reduced to beauty alone. Her legacy in cinema is that of an actress who carved out her own space, navigating the tension between international stardom and French artistic respectability. Carole Bouquet, a deeper exploration. Early years and intellectual foundation. Born on August 18, 1957. In Neuilly-sur-Seine, an affluent suburb of Paris, Carole Bouquet came from a cultivated, bourgeois background. Unlike many actresses who pursued drama from childhood, she initially gravitated toward literature and philosophy, fields that nurtured her contemplative side. She studied philosophy at the Sorbonne before joining the Conservatoire National Supérieur d'Art Dramatique, France's most prestigious drama school. This intellectual grounding shaped her entire career. Bouquet was never content to be merely a beautiful woman on screen. She carried an air of introspection, restraint, and irony. These qualities would distinguish her even in her earliest roles. Breakthrough with Luis Buñuel, 1977. At just 20, Bouquet landed her first major role in Luis Buñuel's final film. That Obscure Object of Desire, Cet obscur objet du désir, 1977. Buñuel made the radical choice to cast two actresses, Bouquet and Ángela Molina, as the same character, Conchita. Representing two sides of feminine allure, icy distance, Bouquet, and earthy sensuality, Melina. The film was surreal, controversial, and celebrated worldwide. For Bouquet, it was an extraordinary launch. To debut under Buñuel meant instant recognition as an actress of intrigue and seriousness. Bond girl era, For Your Eyes Only, 1981, just 4 years later. She became Melina Havelock in the James Bond film For Your Eyes Only. This role was pivotal. It introduced her to a global audience, particularly English-speaking ones. Unlike stereotypical Bond women, her character had her own quest for revenge, independent of Bond. Her aristocratic, reserved beauty was unlike the more voluptuous Bond heroines before her. This cemented Bouquet as one of the most memorable Bond actresses, and she is still celebrated within the franchise's legacy today. French and European cinema, 1980s to 1990s, after Bond. Bouquet could have pursued a Hollywood career, but she preferred to stay rooted in French and European cinema. She deliberately sought varied, challenging roles, resisting typecasting. Notable works: Rive Droite, Rive Gauche, 1984, a political and romantic drama with Gérard Depardieu and Nathalie Baye. Double Messieurs, 1986, a quirky drama with French New Wave sensibilities. Too Beautiful for You, 1989, a landmark film in her career. Playing alongside Depardieu and Josiane Balasco, she portrayed the mistress of a married man in a story that subverted clichés about beauty and love. Won her the César Award for Best Actress, 1990. Proved she could move beyond glamour into deep, emotional roles. By the 1990s, Bouquet was firmly established as one of the major stars of French cinema, combining international fame with critical respect. Fashion and iconic image. Parallel to her film career, Carole Bouquet became a fashion icon. She was the face of Chanel No. 5 from 1986 to 1997. Her elegance, often described as cool, sculptural, and timeless, perfectly embodied Chanel's brand. She appeared in many campaigns photographed by Richard Avedon and directed by Ridley Scott, including the famous Chanel commercials. This dual identity, serious actress and luxury icon, gave her an aura that transcended cinema. She became a symbol of French sophistication worldwide. Personal life and relationships. Bouquet's private life has been both admired and scrutinized. Jean-Pierre Rassam, 1941 to 1985, producer of films like Le Grande Bouffe. He was her partner in the late 1970s and early 80s. They had a son, Dimitri Rassam, in 1981. Tragically, Rassam died in 1985, leaving Bouquet widowed young. Gérard Depardieu, 1990 to 1996. Bouquet's most famous relationship. They were considered a royal couple of French cinema, often appearing together in public and films. Their partnership was passionate but also turbulent, and their breakup was widely reported. Jacques Leibowitz, 1942 to 2020, a pioneering HIV researcher whom Bouquet later married. This union reflected her preference for men of intellect and strong convictions, not just fellow celebrities. Her son, Dimitri Rassam, became a successful film producer and married Charlotte Casiraghi, daughter of Princess Caroline of Monaco, linking Bouquet indirectly to European royalty. Later career, 2000s present. Unlike many actresses whose careers slow with age, Bouquet remained relevant, taking on more nuanced roles. Wasabi, 2001, an action comedy with Jean Reno. Balancing humor with sophistication. Bienvenue chez les Roses, 2003, a darkly comic hostage film. Lucie Aubrac, 1997, played the French resistance heroine with gravity and courage. En mai, Fais ce qu'il te plaît, 2015, a moving World War II drama. En Thérapie, 2021, a major TV success in France, adapted from In Treatment, where Bouquet played a patient in psychoanalysis. She also pursued theater, where critics praised her for her controlled intensity and eloquence. Outside acting, she dedicated time to her vineyard in Pantelleria, Italy, producing acclaimed wines. Personality and philosophy. Carole Bouquet has always projected a sense of independence and discretion. She avoided the gossip-driven celebrity lifestyle and focused on artistry, fashion, and her personal passions. In interviews, she often stressed the importance of privacy, a refusal to be reduced to beauty alone, admiration for directors who gave women layered, non-stereotypical roles. Her public persona combines mystery, intelligence, and elegance, qualities that have made her endure beyond fleeting stardom. Cultural legacy. Carole Bouquet's influence is wide-reaching. She is one of the few Bond girls to become an award-winning actress respected in art cinema. She bridged the worlds of fashion, luxury, and cinema seamlessly. She is remembered as a modern icon of French femininity, cool, elegant, mysterious, yet intellectually engaged. Through her son's marriage to Charlotte Casiraghi, her legacy also now touches European aristocracy. In short, Carole Bouquet is not only a celebrated actress but also a cultural ambassador of French elegance and artistry. Carole Bouquet. A complete biography. Early life, 1957 to 1976, born August 18, 1957, Neuilly-sur-Seine, France, into a well-to-do Parisian family. Educated at Catholic schools, where she developed discipline and a serious demeanor. Initially studied literature and philosophy at the Sorbonne, reflecting her intellectual inclinations. Later enrolled in the Conservatoire National Supérieur d'Art Dramatique in Paris, the country's leading drama school. Bouquet was known early for her striking, aristocratic beauty, pale complexion, dark hair, sculpted features, but also for her intelligence and reserve.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.